Welcome, everyone, to the Strive305 podcast. My name is Tico Casamayor. I'm here with our wonderful co-host, Irvans Augustin.
How are you, folks?
And our guest today, we have Diego. Diego, tell me your last name.
Cailo.
Diego Cailo. Runs off very sexy.
Yeah.
Argentinian, so it's very like romantic.
It's, Italian-Argentinian. Yes.
Italian-Argentinian.
So you do speak real Spanish?
Yeah, I speak real Spanish. Yeah, which we spoke about.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying it's real Spanish.
No, I mean, there's Cuban Spanish and then there's real Spanish.
The exciting part of our podcast today is Diego serves multiple roles when it comes to the Strive305 initiative. He is an ambassador, so he's one of our ambassadors. He's one of us. He is a resource for Strive305, and he's also a small business.
Yes.
So you do a little bit of, or you're part of the whole Strive305 initiative from beginning to end. You give us a taste of all of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then he owns the Florida Marketplace
Group, Florida Marketplace Group. Yeah.
Group. And then you're also a publisher for the Miami Beach Magazine.
Life magazine. Yeah.
Right. So you're going to be, Irvans has got a lot of content to share today from him
When
and
do you
learn from
sleep?
him.
I don't. I have 5 kids, married with 5 kids.
Five
too.
kids?
So yeah.
5 kids?
5 kids.
Wow, that one I didn't know about him, and I thought I knew everything about this guy.
Yeah, 5 kids.
Wow, that's excellent. Well, okay, before we get going, before I pass it off to Irvans, a couple of little notes. We're working on some things. We've mentioned the XM radio. We're going to be going national, I think. I don't even know if we are already. But
Yeah.
it's coming soon, if it hasn't already. We have, we're doing some work with Mega TV, so we'll announce that once that's final, but that's going to be exciting, doing, what did you call them, remote pop-ups for small businesses?
Remotes.
That's going to be huge once that gets going. And we also have something, you saw it with me last night on the chat, where they're putting together Strive305 ribbon cuttings for new businesses.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
digital
Saw
one.
that?
That should be fun.
That's
That's
going
right.
to be
You're
good.
both, all three of us are in the
Yeah,
chat
yeah.
together. So I'm excited about that because that's like my,
No,
that's where I
it's fun
scattered
to-
like crazy, and it's doing ribbon cutting.
Yeah,
at
it's
the
fun
main.
to
Miami
highlight
Lakes, yeah.
small businesses. So
Yeah.
that's very cool.
Yeah. So very
But
excited
Mega
about all of
TV?
it. Mega TV, something's happening.
Mega
I just
TV?
don't know if, I don't even know if I'm supposed to be announcing it yet, but you know me. I always get in trouble for talking too soon or talking too much. Or all of above. All the
Yeah,
above.
but we had a great time. We did a walkthrough last week. It was great. Studio's beautiful. I mean, when I started in the advertising industry 25 years ago, Mega TV was just this little station trying to catch up to
Yeah,
Univision
I
and
remember when we first
Telemundo,
started.
and now it's kicking ass. It's doing really good.
Yeah. So
That's
that's exciting. All right. So before I let you two go off into your rant, let's do our Miami Minute, our famous Miami Minute that we
that's
have
right.
now.
Miami Minute. Welcome to the Miami Minute. Bite-sized news, insights, and history, and random Miami facts for your day. In honor of our guest today, who happens to publish Miami Beach Life magazine, we're putting together a spotlight on some of the lesser-known stories hiding behind the sun, sand, and sparkle on Miami Beach. Let's start from the beginning. When it was first incorporated in 1915, the city name was originally called Ocean Beach, after the company had started building the island, but just a year later, it was changed into the now famous Miami Beach, which I personally think works a whole lot better. But beneath the Art Deco glow and pastel skyline is a deeper story, one of segregation, survival, and some real serious cultural transformation. Miami Beach has a real deep Jewish heritage today, but that wasn't always the case. In the early 1900s, the city was actually really very, very segregated. Miami Beach residents, black residents, were only allowed on Virginia Key Beach, and Jewish residents were only limited south of Fifth Street. That started to change when the real estate boom in the 1920s brought a growing Jewish population, and one of the very first Jewish families to settle in the area was Joseph and Jenny Weiss, who opened up a little seafood spot in the 1920s, which is still standing today, called Joe Stonecrab.
Oh, wow.
By the 1930s, the Jewish families had built their own resort community, kosher hotels, synagogues, and hospitality that made Miami Beach the very first major Jewish, I cannot say the word, resort destination in the U.S. by 1960. After World War II, Miami Beach became a national center for Jewish life, and with that population, the population jumped from 9,000 in 1940 to 134,000 by 1960. That's a lot of kids. And speaking of World War II, from 1942 to 1945, Miami Beach transformed from a party town to a full-blown military training hub. Over 500,000 soldiers trained here. Hotels returned to barracks, and the boardwalks returned to marching grounds, and the beach became a literal boot camp. And for some of the music history buffs, you can't say Miami Beach without mentioning the Beatles. I guess all of us, well, we weren't there, but all of us actually remember the Beatles. Everybody underneath 25, go look it up on YouTube. In February 1964, just days after their U.S. debut, the Beatles played their second ever U.S. concert right here in Miami Beach. They stayed at the Deauville Hotel, which I think they're renovating, rebuilding right now.
They knocked it down. It's knocked down.
But they were going to replace it with the similar
new buildings there. Yeah.
Hopefully they do something similar. That should be something that keeps the history. But the Beatles stayed there and filmed their second ever Ed Sullivan episode. And finally, it wasn't just real estate and nightclubs that put Miami Beach that brought Miami Beach back to life. In 1984, the debut of Miami Vice turned the city into a global pop cultural phenomenon. Neon lights, Ferraris, and Phil Collins, and yes, thousands of guys suddenly wearing pastel suits with no socks. That was you, wasn't it, Tico?
I was one of them.
You're still wearing a suit. You have a pastel suit?
I'm
sure you do.
Sure I do, yeah. I can pull it out. I'll pull it out for one of the shows.
Let's not and say we did. The show helped spark a design, fashion, and tourism boom that's still going to today. So from pop culture to platoons, from kosher diners to Crockett and Tubbs, there's more Miami Beach than meets the selfie. We love hearing your thoughts and requests, and if you have a topic you want us to cover, hit us up and let us know. Until next time, stay cool, stay curious, and that's your Miami Minute.
Very
nice. That was a good one.
He always has good content with them.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't know about the military Miami Beach. Where I grew up, it's called North Beach, and the only beach there is between 75th and 72nd Street. And all those little hotels, probably about 8 or 10 of them, were all military hotels there.
I just didn't realize there were that many, like 500,000 soldiers, and like the beaches.
That's incredible. Yeah, incredible.
Well, before you two get started, Amber, can I get my camera, please? I want to tell everybody something. Okay, this is officially our 10th episode.
Nice.
Hence the jacket. I'm wearing the jacket not because my friend Linda from the Miami Laker told me I should wear a tie and a shirt instead of a t-shirt all the time.
Has she watched the show?
She watches, yes, but I told her no, I refuse. But I'm wearing the jacket, not for her only because it's our 10th episode. So next week, you mentioned Miami Vice.
Yes,
so next week, I'm bringing my Miami Vice t-shirt. I got one for that. So prepare next week for that.
I'll wear my Crockett and Tubbs jacket. I'll wear the suit.
Oh my God, I got my t-shirt.
We can do the Crockett and Tubbs.
I love it. Let's do it. And then, so you're our 10th episode. So this is like a big milestone for us.
Thank you. So thanks for having me.
Don't screw it up with
No, I'm not. I'm going to try to talk.
All right,
Words are good.
Do your thing because you're the. Oh, and also we have. I always forget. I don't mention the crew in the beginning. I always mention them at the end, but I want to. We have Amber. She is the greatest producer of podcasts, and I produce podcasts, so she's even better than me. We have Rachel Guerrero back there. She's part of my posse. She's our account exec at AC Graphics, and we have our new intern starting today, Chloe Cruz. She's with us today, and she'll be with us throughout the summer. So enjoy that. Enjoy our girls.
Behind every great man there's a great woman, that's for sure. Yeah.
All right, Irvans, go hit it. Do your thing.
Actually, you had a couple questions I thought were actually really interesting.
You want me to hit those first? Okay,
but you mentioned
Strive305 related questions,
But you already mentioned that you're a publisher of a magazine and you're on what actually, which one came first, actually? I was curious.
The Miami Beach Life magazine came first.
Yeah.
Before the Florida Marketplace Group. You know, I got into advertising marketing at 23. I was a creative director for Toyota at 23, very young age. And then at 25, I went on my own. Mm-hmm. And then when I was about 40, we had a lot of advertisers wanted to advertise in Miami Beach. And there was really no place to advertise unless you were doing radio or TV. There was really no magazine in Miami Beach. We had Ocean Drive, which was very pricey. Yeah. It's like $20,000
and
for
also
a full
very
page.
Specific audience.
Yeah.
Like small businesses.
Yeah, and then you had New Times, which if you're a business in Miami Beach, you don't want to advertise in a newspaper that people in Kendall are seeing because they're not driving from Kendall to go to your
restaurant. So you're trying to focus on very specific niche audience.
So there was no magazine in Miami Beach, and we started it. And it's fun. It's a creative outlet. There's no money being made,
but you're doing good.
It's a great door opener. Let me tell you, we get a lot of businesses that come from out of state that want to advertise in Miami Beach, and they don't have a creative group, or they don't have an advertising company, or they don't have a project development company, and that's where we come in. So, like I told Tico, and I just told Grant, I said anyone that ever asks you to start a magazine with them, you know, kick their ass and walk away because there's no money. They want you to lose money. But thank God I'm in a good position in life that, you know, losing a little money here and there doesn't really.
It's a labor of love that you do.
Yeah, look, I went to film school. I studied creative writing, so I'm a creative guy. So that's really something that when I'm home I need to get really creative. I sit down and we work on the magazine back and forth with the editor and the creative people. So it's a lot of fun. And look, I grew up in Miami Beach. Saying that I own the magazine Miami Beach is huge for me. You know what I mean? I went to middle school, high school, everything Miami Beach. And all 5 of my kids were born in Miami Beach too. So even though I live in Miami Shores, which Miami Shores is really, I tell people I live in the suburbs of Miami Beach. Because it's really what it is, you know?
Yeah.
Miami Beach, there's no
right.
suburbs.
Yeah.
There's none. Yeah, 41st Street, 5th Street, 71st Street. It's all buildings mixed in. So if you go right over the bridge on 79th Street, Miami Beach,
you're right there in Miami Shores.
You get there in Miami Shores. So I'm still somewhat of Miami Beach resident, which really I'm not. But I'm almost there, yes.
That's very cool. And then from there, like you started the marketplace.
Yeah, Florida Marketplace Group. Yeah, we do a lot of farmers markets for Miami Lakes, Miami Shores, South Miami. We do a lot of them. But we also do a lot of big events. We do the Miami Beach Cancer Walk. We do Festival Viva Argentina, which is coming up right now, July 6th, which is the biggest Argentine festival in Florida. So we
is it?
Yeah, we do a lot of big events. It's the Argentine Independence Day Festival.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we do a lot of events too.
Very cool.
Yeah, so we have a lot of fun working, put it that way. Yeah.
And those events, correct me if I'm wrong, are what I would call resources for small businesses throughout Dade County.
Definitely.
Because in Miami Lakes, for example, I'll give a quick story in Miami Lakes that happened to me a couple of weeks ago. I walk into my gym and the kids with their cards, showing their cards, their player cards, and have their little business, and they have a table. And it killed me when I heard that their dream, and I called you right away.
Yeah, you called me.
I go,
right
their
away.
dream was to be in the Miami Lakes Farmers Market one day and have a table there.
Yeah.
I go, are you kidding me for real? And they had their player cards, Pokemon, baseball, all that. And that was their business, set up at a table. So I helped them with their business cards. They came out beautiful. We're going to get them a little table throw. And then Diego's going to, told them they can bring a table and have a table there at the show.
Yeah.
So they're living their dream already.
Yeah. No, that's a great
this
story.
is what I'm talking about, resources for small businesses.
Yeah.
Because these farmers markets are great to get exposure for your business.
Exactly. And the great thing about farmers market is that you can actually test out your product. You know what I mean? And we'll get into the Strive305 and market match and all that in regards to business.
Yeah. Yeah, but it is a great story. And that's one of the things I was curious about. Like, did you start the market for small businesses in mind, or was there a different?
No, look, we were doing a lot of big events, and then I forgot who it was. Told me, it's like, look, Miami Lakes are looking for a company to, either start a market or take over an existing market that's there.
Yeah,
and we did a bid on it. We met up with Gladysel, which we love very much there in Miami Lakes, and we got the market, and now it's great. We're moving to a new location this Saturday, about 2 blocks away from location that we were at for 3 years. But it's great. We deal with a lot of businesses in Miami Lakes. I got to meet Tico. It's a really, whoever hasn't been to Miami Lakes, it's a really great small community.
Yeah.
People think it's big because it's next to Hialeah, but it's really small. It's like everyone knows everyone in Miami Lakes.
You can't do it. And then the new location is next week?
Yeah, next
Saturday?
week. Yeah, it's Meadow Park.
There's the perfect time for everybody to go and check it out. We're going to do a little ceremony, cut the new location, and you're going to love the new location. It's canvas. We got a canvas of trees.
Big, beautiful
park
tree
right
there.
next door with a little lake.
Really beautiful.
It's going to be beautiful. So there's a chance for all of you to go and check it out. This is the perfect week. I think it starts at 10 a.m.
10 to 5.
10 to 5?
Yeah, and we're doing the ribbon cutting at 11.
11, okay,
yeah.
Perfect.
So it's great. And come out there. You'll see a lot of Miami Lakes businesses out there, which...
How many small businesses are at your or part of the marketplace?
We do about 50 to 60 a week.
Oh, okay.
Food trucks too.
Yeah, we do food trucks. So I would say 10 of them are local Miami Lakes businesses. Yeah. And if you're Miami Lakes businesces, it's free for you guys. You know what I mean? Just get in touch with us. Yeah.
We have a table there.
Yeah,
It's
to give
crazy,
a table.
right?
That's very cool.
We connect them with a free booth, you know what I mean? And for them to promote their business, because storefronts are tough right now.
Yeah.
No, it's stuff everywhere.
Yeah.
And I think, and that's what I think it's a sort of unique opportunity for small businesses to really, like you said, test out a project.
And they engage with
and
the
get it out.
community, right? They engage with the community, let people know, hey, you like our product? We're 2 blocks down the street. You know what I mean? We have that storefront over there. Or you can call us directly. So it works out really well for small business.
And do you, what do you, for all the small businesses, like the kids starting out with the cars and others, do you ever give them advice or information for starting? Like, what are some of the common mistakes that people make when they're talking and you're like, no, don't do that?
Yeah, which I think it's a big reason why I got involved in Strive305. A lot of people, what they do, which is a huge mistake, is not test out the products, right? You know, if you have an idea, it might be a good idea for you, but it might not be an idea that's needed right now. So I tell everyone, I say, you have an idea, great. Ask your family, great. But remember, your family are going to tell you what you want to hear, right? They're never going to be straight up with you.
Hopefully they like you and they'll just support you in whatever you do.
Look, if you go and tell your mom, I have this idea, she's going to say, baby, it's great, sí, está bueno. But it might not be, your mom is not a business expert. You know what I mean? She does not know
or even if she is,
there.
she's just being nice to you.
Yeah, exactly. So the market's great because, you know, in Strive305, you start a business in Miami-Dade County, you get in touch with us, and you can go to our website, thefloridamarketplacegroup.com, look at all the upcoming events that we have, and then you get a free spot there. And we hook you up with a free spot, and you can go there and promote your business and get real reaction from people walking by. You know?
Which is really interesting because I think a lot of times, like especially in this digital dominated landscape, everybody kind of focuses on creating an e-store and like being online and everything. But many times you need that tangible experience with a product, and someone picking it up and looking at it and say, hey, I like this or I don't like this. So which will help you as a business owner to know what the immediate feedback is before you spend a whole lot of time
and money
for on a product. So that is really interesting.
And that's one thing I'm trying to help these business avoid investing money in what they don't really need. Right. Because a storefront, say you want to open up a store, okay, great. The rent's $10,000. You need 3 months. That's 30 grand right there. And if you open up a restaurant, you might need a grease trap, which is 50 grand there. And then you need to do the build out of that's another 50, 80 grand. So
and this is all before anybody's even tasted tried your food yet. So you might want to come to the farmer's market, test it out. See if anybody actually eats it or likes it before you go.
Storefront, next you know, you're 200,000 in the hole, and you open up the store and no one walks in. And then what do? You know, you file for bankruptcy, you lose all your money, and then it's not only the business, but you take it back home. You give your family an attitude, your wife or husband an attitude. Take it on the. It's just that, you know, the downward effect. It's much more than just ruining your finance and your pocketbook, but it also affects your family as well. So we really let people know before you make this huge investment. Make sure you test out the product. Ask a lot of people around. Make sure the logo looks good. Make sure your presentation is ready. You know, and make sure you have some disposable income in your bank account, because you're a business owner. Things are going to pop up. That's going to take 5 grand there, 10 grand there. You know what I mean? And it gets to the point that, you know, you can't ask your family for any more money. The bank won't lend you any more money. And then that's it.
Bringing it back around to Strive305, the hub, our website. Because he brought up all these points. And one of those points that causes businesses to delay an opening when you have a brick and mortar is your plans, your planning, and you're getting your approvals and all that. And that's another thing. I know I bring it up every week, but I love this, what we have on the site, the AI software that will read your plans and give you a readiness report before you submit to the county. And it'll actually help you fix all the little minor things that'll cause those plans to go back and forth. So that's critical for new business. If you're opening up a new brick and mortar, if you're going to submit plans to get them approved by the county, put them through the Strive305 website's AI. It's comply.
Time is money.
Co-comply. And it'll give, you know, within 48 hours, they promise to have a readiness report back to you. So you can just fine tune all the little mistakes that might have been made by the architect, by you, by the builder.
Fast. Like I was talking to somebody last week, and then they were waiting a year and a half for some of their permitting to go through.
Unbelievable.
Imagine 18 months of rent.
And they're still paying that rent, right? They're still paying that rent.
And you're not even making any money, right? So like that could really be huge and impactful for small businesses.
Very stressful.
But I love the table at the farmers market for being.
It's great, And remember, it's not only farmers market, because we do like the Argentine Festival and all these events. We just finished doing South Beach Film Festival. It was a 3-day film festival. It was great too. We had a couple of businesses out there promoted. So it's not only for anyone that's watching. It's not just markets. It's events all over South Florida that we focus on.
Very nice. And then the Strive305 there's 3 things I was told to ask you by my bosses above, so I'm going to ask you. If not, I might get in trouble. I'm not going to mention the name of my boss, man. He said Anthony Bonami, Mayor Living Cava. I'm not going to say their names because I don't want them to think, that I'm calling them out. So Strive305 Matchmaker Program. What's that, and what's happening with that?
So Strive305, you can go to the IG account, get in touch with the Strive305. You go on the website, and basically, if you open up a business in Miami-Dade County, you can go to our website, and like I said, look at all the events coming up, and then we match you with the correct market for you. It depends what you sell. Most of the markets that we have, you can sell everything, but some markets you can't sell food and stuff like that. We just signed a contract with Westland Mall.
This is countywide?
Yeah, Miami-Dade countywide. Wow. Yeah.
Oh, Westland Mall. That's right. You told me
Westland
about
Mall?
that.
Yeah, we just signed up
That's still
Westland
open?
Mall.
Yes.
Yes, it's
No, I was there in the mid '80s.
Hialeah's
it's still
Hialeah's
open.
my
Still
sister
open?
city and my hometown. So
Yeah.
talking
Well,
shit
Charlie,
about
a
Hialeah.
lot of
You live in
tough guys
Miami Lakes
Hialeah.
now.
Doesn't matter. Miami Lakes is Hialeah with a tie. It's the same
Yeah,
thing.
they're
Everybody
right
with-
next to each
As
other.
soon as
all
you make some
family.
money, you move to Miami Lakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Is that
back
the
and forth.
requirement?
Sometimes you move to Hialeah. It just depends on what you want to do. And
My
my
first
business
job,
is in
when I
Hialeah.
first moved down to Miami, was in Hialeah.
Yeah.
I had to lie to get it, but that was my first job. It was McDonald's on 7155 West 4th Avenue. I don't know why I remember that. It's random, useless information. But
No, but that's great. City of Progress, Hialeah. So but yeah, that's awesome that you guys are going to do that. Well, tell us about the Westland Mall.
Well,
What
Westland Mall is great. Downside in regards to market match is that you can cook inside. So, for example, if you're opening up a restaurant, you want to test out your food and stuff like that, Westland Mall would not be one of your spots.
right.
But,
But that's useful to know.
Yeah, but South Miami, Miami Lakes,
Yeah.
all these places are definitely a spot. But Westland Mall, we're handling their project development. They have a new management company in. So we're doing the farmers market there starting at the end of June on
Very
Sundays. And we're doing food truck nights there starting on Thursdays.
Ooh, nice.
Starting next month. So those are little things we do. We do a lot of work with the Dolphin Mall, with Vivo. City Place is also a client of ours as well. So our focus is pretty much project development, right?
Yeah.
If you're new management of the mall, you will call us and say, Diego, our Thursday is dead. Our Sunday is dead. We need help. What can you guys do to bring in more walk-in traffic?
Yeah.
That's where we come in and give ideas.
That's very cool.
Excellent. And the Strive305 Walk and Grub, is that the same?
Strive305 Walk and Grub. So we have a company called walkandgrub.com. So it's a walking food festival. So basically you pay $25 and we pick little small locations, usually a location that there's restaurants within a mile from each other. So we do Lincoln Road, we did Merrick Park, we do City Place.
So instead of bar hopping, you just food hopping.
Yes. And we
It's like
really got away from the whole bar hopping just because I had a bad experience about 10 years ago in Key West. I did one of those beer crawl and it was horrible because it was 50 people with you and you had to wait in a crowd of 50 people to try a little beer. And I said, I'm going to change this whole thing around. So I did a walking grub. It's a non-group, non-escorted walking food festival.
Okay, so you can take your time.
It's from 6:30 to 8:30. You can start at 6:30. You can start at 7:30.
Yeah.
There's a check-in location. You come in. We give you a map of all the restaurants involved, a wristband, and you're on your own for 2 hours to walk around for all these restaurants.
And you can bring the kids.
You bring the kids. It's a great date night. We just did in City Place Doral. It was great. So the walking grub, we're starting in Hialeah and we're starting in Homestead.
Oh,
Yeah.
excellent.
So it's great. Yeah. And it's a great way to promote your restaurants. It's free for the restaurants to be involved.
Where in Homestead are you guys?
In the downtown
In the
area.
downtown
Yeah,
area?
downtown area. But it's free for the restaurants. They don't have
Yeah.
to pay for it. They have to provide a small palm size sample.
Right.
And the great thing is that people walk there, you give them, let them sample your food, you give them a flyer, you give them a coupon. You know, the whole focus of this is to have that
And it's
return
the fun-
customer.
And what's the physical distance you require?
Within a mile.
Within a mile?
Yeah, within a mile, which is not bad. I mean, you get 10, 12 restaurants within a mile.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you're walking and talking. Right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're walking, oh, there's the other one. Boom, boom. You go, you try the food. Where's the
And
next
unlike bar crawls, after the third one, you can still actually walk.
one? Yeah. And look, the great thing about walking grub is that 80% of the people that do the walking grub, they go back to their favorite location.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? Because we're big guys. A palm size of no food's going to fill us up. So at 8:30 when we're done, we're like, all right, that burger that we had over there, let's go.
Let's go back and take
We're going to have a full meal over there. So it's great. Walking grub is great.
And is walking grub, is that spelled out correctly? Or is
Yeah.
it the end?
Walkandgrub.com. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. And you can see all the cities that we do it in as well. And it's very inexpensive. Walking grub is paid $25. So it's not like, you have to pay $50 or $100 to do this.
Oh, it's
25
like
bucks.
$20 for one movie ticket
Yeah.
nowadays.
Yeah.
It's like,
So it's priced perfectly.
no, that's great.
Yeah.
All right, and the last one, I know it's not ready yet, but you mentioned you're in the process. Strive305 International Taste Events.
Yes, so we're working with the representatives of India, representative of Colombia, representative of Peru, like Miami Spice, right? We all know Miami Spice.
Yeah.
So we're trying to do the same thing with the cities. Argentina just did one. They do it in November, and basically all Argentine restaurants get into the program. You can go to all these Argentine restaurants and you get a special discount. It's just like Miami Spice, but we're targeting different countries. So we're going to do one with Thailand, all Thai restaurants. We're going to do one with Colombia, all Colombian restaurant. So it's pretty cool. It's Miami Spice, but international Miami Spice.
What's the name of that again?
It's what we're calling a Strive305 International Taste and Events.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yes.
I know, right?
It's not going to be the website name. I'll tell you how much. I don't think
We got to work on that.
I know.
It's a creative one.
We'll put
Okay,
it
yeah.
together.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, but that's really interesting, and I think that also, like, what are you guys thinking of doing as part of like the World Cup coming up and everything? You're Argentinian, so
Yeah. So we have a.
I think you're required.
Look, I tell people I'm Argentina. I was born with a piece of steak in one hand and a soccer ball in another one. You have no choice. You know what I mean? It's like you're in the family. So
Just make sure you eat the right one.
Yes. So we developed Fan Zone 305 with Fernando Fiore. He's the voice of Inter Miami, and Alex Avellante. She's part of the soccer programs in all around the world. So, we all know that Miami-Dade County is very involved in FIFA, but Miami-Dade County is only doing the events in South Beach and in Bayside.
Right.
So you have, 38
You have a
other
whole-
cities that
yeah.
want to be involved. So that's where we come in. So Fan Zone 305, you could hire the program and we find a park in your city and we just develop a huge soccer experience with ex-soccer players, things for the kids, forums, speaking engagements, anything that has to do fun soccer experience. So we're developing that right now with Manny. We're in talks with Manny. So, because look, if you're mayor, say of Miami Shores or Miami Lakes, and you see that the city is doing all these big events,
They're projecting to have 1 million people.
yeah,
come for that.
but you guys are
And
they'll
that's
be
just
like,
Miami
why
alone.
are they coming to my city, right?
Right.
So that's when you get in touch with Miami-Dade County and they'll let you know, well, look, we don't have the budget for you right now, but there's Fan Zone 305. Talk to them and see what you can do with them. So, but all the cities that are watching this, remember, the FIFA was made possible to be made in Miami-Dade County because a certain percentage of every city, they took money from every city
Yeah.
in Miami-Dade County is invested in FIFA 2026. So for all your mayors and commissioner out there, remember that you
already put money.
should be able to have some type of soccer experience during Mundial in your city because money came from your taxes. A lot of cities don't know that. So hopefully I didn't get anyone in trouble, but hopefully I made a lot of people happy,
No, but
right? With knowing
put a
this
lot of people on the
information.
spot, that's
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
They just haven't-
exactly.
or they just haven't thought about it.
Right.
But
Yeah.
time moves fast. Like,
Yeah, look, it's next year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally.
Yeah.
And this year's half over, so.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's fascinating.
Oh, very exciting.
Great
well,
stuff.
I told everybody this guy was going to be a well full of knowledge, and he keeps everything we ask him. He's got information for, and again, small business help is what we love.
Oh, that's
we're about.
really what we love.
And that's what he loves too. And I
Yeah.
know him because we've been working together for a while now.
Yeah.
And that's all we end up doing. We
Yeah.
always get calls from the Main Street merchants, for
Yeah.
example, or from the Grahams also.
Yeah,
always,
to help out. And we want every business to be successful, right? I mean, people put their heart and soul and all their finance in it.
Yeah.
And we want all of them to be successful.
And small businesses really are the backbone of the economy. for
And those are the
Miami-Dade
mom
County.
and pops.
Yeah.
These aren't people with millions of dollars in the bank say, oh, let's try this out. No, they're putting their entire life in there. And I love my vendors in my markets because they get up at 5 a.m. They're at the market at 6 a.m. They work till 5. They don't get home till 9 p.m. And these are all hardworking families that show up there with their kids and stuff like that. So, yeah, I mean, that's where my heart is at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
All right, excellent. So again, if people, you have a ton of more information, you have a lot
Yeah.
of more help you can give. How do people get a hold of you?
Diego at thefloridamarketplacegroup.com or just check out thefloridamarketplacegroup.com. You can also check out our project development company, which is Cross-Minded Group, or just go to Strive305 IG, right? Get in touch with our man right here. And
Strive305
yeah.
hub.com is our website. He's a
Yeah.
resource on there as well. You can
Yeah.
find him through there as well. And I go, that's it. We're out of time already. This one felt like it went by in 5 minutes.
No,
Yeah, it flew by. We have 1 minute.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying if you want more information, reach out to him. If you want to know how to look good and handsome, reach out to Irvans. If you want to know where to get funny T-shirts, come to me, right?
Yeah.
Or glasses.
All right, let me do my thank yous to everybody. The reason Strive305 initiative is here and exists. We honor our people. Yep. Obviously, the Mayor Levine Cava, for putting the initiative together. Manny Sid, my former mayor, for actually, I'm not supposed to say his name because he doesn't like to be thanked, but I'm thanking him anyways because he's leading
Manny?
this whole thing.
Yeah.
Manny, that guy.
Don't say Manny.
The Don't Say Manny guy.
Got it.
Anthony Bonami, who's also been a big part of this. I hear he might be moving on to bigger and better things. We got that speech the other day, but he'll still be there for us because it's crazy. Everything I ask him for Anthony, for help, business, call me, small businesses. I don't know how to solve the problem.
No, he's the one that called too.
And I reach out to him, instant.
Yeah.
So, makes me look great.
Yeah,
so this is the guy you want to be friends with.
Great guy.
Obviously, the one I really hate to mention, my twin brother, Grant Miller.
Right.
And his cool brother, Michael Miller. Thank you for the Community News Studios.
Studio
this
looks
is his
great.
studio.
Yep. Studio looks great.
And our producer team.
Yeah, I'll mention them again because Amber, she doesn't like to be mentioned. But without her, this wouldn't even look good. I mean, look at what she does to me. I look much uglier in person. She does this with the camera somehow.
She uses a filter on you?
Yes, and then my posse that came with us today, Chloe and Rachel, again, mentioning them. That's so their mothers are happy with me because they love hearing their kids' names. So again, thank you everyone for joining us. See you next week with my Miami Vice t-shirt, I promise.
Bye, guys.
What's up, folks?